opportunity and better standard of living than any country in the history of the world. Well, why should it surprise us that other people want the same thing and are competing with us in many ways that we can't? It's all easy to think about and logical, but for me, it's really about getting back to basics. That small business is 80% of the new jobs, and 70% of the economy comes from consumers. And your money is best left with you. If you give me $1, I can turn it into $1.50. If I give it to the government, it's whatever, 75 to 80 cents.
This is one of the things that bothers me is, and I'm not against immigration either, but one of the things that does bother me is the fact that my son works in one of the local plants here in Rome, and my son-in-law works in one of the hearing hospitals in Europe. And they bring in people from Bosnia and from Vietnamese and all over everywhere. And what they do, they subsidize half of their wages. Now, this knocks out them hiring local help if they can hire somebody and the government's going to pay half of their wages. That's ridiculous. What's going on?
I'm not familiar with that.
Well, nobody is, but it's the truth. And it's bad news. It's bad news. Yeah. But I mean, if you're going to let them in, fine. But
I think that
if they can find work, fine. But don't take somebody else's job and pay half of their wages.
And you know, it matters to people. There's a heightened sense of awareness now because there is so much unemployment. But if we don't make value-added products in this country, we can't improve our standard of living. You have to make something and you have to sell something, and somebody has to want to buy it. If all of us sit in a room, we pass the same piece of paper back and forth, we haven't produced anything. But that's kind of what's happening in this country. We still have the largest, I think China just took over, but we have one of the largest, or the largest up until recently, manufacturing sectors in the world. It's people like Bill Gates and Steve Jobs and all these wizards and geniuses that we know that have created enormous wealth that the world wants. And it's you know, that ingenuity and that unleashing of the free enterprise system that's created that. And it's not bad that somebody like Obama wants to take care of everything. But the question is, how do you do it? How do you do it? How do you do it? That's where I was.
That's not the government's job.
He doesn't want to.
The government has been killing the goose that is provided for those people, and now it wants to extend what it's done by taxing us, and that's unsustainable. You can people like me. I mean, I just woke up and I said, this is too much. It's not worth it. I have what I need. I'd rather spend my time with my wife and my kids. And then I looked at my opponent's record and I thought, geez, you know, that doesn't represent me or my district and people I know. I could do this. So that's what I did. And I'm not doing it again because I think I can win or I don't need a job or anything. I got 2 little kids and I like that up in upstate New York, and I could be like a lot of people I know, move to Florida or New Hampshire, someplace where you don't pay inheritance taxes and all the punitive things that New York State's got for it. But you know, I'd rather stick around and fight that. And so that's what I'm doing. You know, that's what I'm doing tonight. I'm grateful for your time, and I appreciate that you're involved like you are. And I would say that if you want to be an important constituency, don't be fooled by people. Listen, but watch more, and remind them that that's what's going to happen. Because that's what they do. They tell you what you want to hear. They go away for 2 more years. They don't give you competition. I can tell you this: you empower the incumbency. And like you work for Mr. Arcuri, I imagine.
Me? No.
No, there's usually somebody filming you, and that's fine. It's okay with me. I'm used to it. But you empower the incumbency to get money, and you see being passed out like candy as if it was their own. The fact that everything that goes into being an incumbent is designed to protect them. It's up to us to say that it's only our responsibility, it's our right to pick. We have to take away some of that power. And the way to do that is by voting for the upper die, if you like it. But the only way people are going to do what you tell them is if you send a message that there's a price to pay. And the price has to be their job. And so when you go to these Tea Party rallies or whatever it is, or you meet with your friends, think about it in terms of, for me, not just do you believe them, but what's their investment? What do you say about a community where politicians are the best paid, most secure people in the community? That's what they are. That's ridiculous. What do you say about an administration that seems to think that it's wrong to be successful? That somehow everybody who's become wealthy in this country is all of a sudden made to feel a bad guy. I'm not a bad guy. And if I am, it's not because of that. I mean, it's you know, we need to applaud success and help people be successful, and we need to have people who respect the rule of law. We need to understand that the playing field has to be fair. And I'm not any happier with the looters on Wall Street than I am the looters in Washington.
That's right.
I see them all the same. Just sometimes dollars are bigger, but different.
Well, if we had them looters in Wall Street, if it wasn't for Washington.
Well, they enabled it. You know, I'm not a big fan of George Bush. I know a lot of people are, and I got labeled with that last time, but there are a lot of things. The Republican Party should not be proud of itself, and neither should the Democratic Party. There's enough to complain about. What's that?
Republicans, they had 8 years.
And what did they do?
They weren't doing
They
shit.
grew the debt. They let a lot of big businesses run roughshod over the rules and regulations. They held up a sign that kind of said, you know, we're not looking right now, you go do what you want. And they heard the message. And, you know, we need a system that says to everybody, you know, live by the rules and work hard, you can do it yourself. Not one that says to people, this is a rigged game, that it's rigged for the wealthy and all of that. That's what I care about.
Richard, they had a big milk dump yesterday, a lot of the farmers here. How do you feel about that? What can you do to help farmers if you go to work with?
That's probably one of the most pressing issues in this district is the plight of the farmer. Because I was raised on a dairy farm in Herkimer, New York. It's a basic farm, 80 cows on 160 acres. And my grandmother would kick me out of bed every morning. And I, you know, in the summer, I spent my summers. It was a really wonderful life. But it's unsustainable. With $14 and change per hundredweight, you can't